Okay, this is Equal Surf Ireland Crypto, and I'm back with a market update. Okay, so sorry guys, I've been very busy the past couple of days. So what has happened? We did drop it down below the $40,000 level, as I thought we would, and as I was saying, was very capable of doing. And we would have a capitulation candle. I did say around 37, maybe to 35. We did capitulate straight down here to 39, roughly 39.6, 39.5. Okay, you saw that vicious candle come down here. We dropped and it was bought straight back up. You can see a huge wick here, which is really nice and healthy, which means there's a lot of buy orders down here. By all means, I'm not saying that we cannot go back down eventually and fall over again and come back down here and create retests down the lows around here again, around the 40,000 level, 39,000 level. By no means is that not possible. But right now we have bounced, and we have bounced quite nicely today. Now, it was exactly the candle I was kind of looking for, but I would have preferred probably lower, to be honest, to 37 to 35 to capitulate more people. But that really scared a lot of people out of the market once we broke $40,000. And it wicked down and it was gobbled straight back up, and we went back up to $41,000. Now we've bounced from there in, and we came into the structure here with resistance here, support here, and we popped. Okay, now we're going to go to the lower time frames. We go to the 30-minute, and this is just previous drawings I've had. The overall probably target of this overall big structure here that it's in is up around $45,000. That would be my thinking on it. And right now I've actually drew this earlier on today, and we're just breaking out of it now. We might even touch $44,000, this baby here. Okay, and if I wanted to measure that and to see, it's a bit of a bull flag, to be honest. The way we'll measure it is here. We'll go to here. Okay, roughly 1% away, 1.5% away from here, and we're looking roughly around 44,285 will be the target of the measured breakout. And if we treat it as a bull flag, okay, so that's the first target. If we treat it as a bull flag, we're going to pull this baby down here, over to here, okay, and we'll bring that up here, just like so. And when, what do you know, $45,000, we'll bring it out where it's breaking out from. Boom, $45,000. Okay, we have a bit of confluence there. That was a target already given just a second ago from here. So if we treat it as a bull flag, correct, 45,000. We have had a breakout, yes, but I'm cautious. I mean, I do want to see it hold above here, 43,738. Why? I'll show you here, because right now this is the area we needed to break up above, which is all here, okay? And then we're just basically going to 45,700, 45,500. This is what I'm watching for. Up around the 45,500, 46,000 region, we could get a rejection and fall back, okay? But I do 40, like this whole area here is a lot of resistance, okay? So between $45,500 to $48,000, there's quite a lot of resistance, okay? So I might as well put even a box up there. And obviously this affects your alts. So if this gets up here and breaks down from anywhere around this area, okay, we need to break through here, and there's huge resistance in here, okay? It also goes all the way back over there as well. So we're making our way up there now. We've just, we're trying to break 44,000 as we speak, which would be, quite nice. We're just underneath it. But yes, I would like to see us move into this area. I will be kind of, watching this area very closely, 45,500 to $48,000, okay? If we clear that area, what is next? Well, I mean, we're looking up towards the kind of 49,000 mark would be the next bit of resistance right there. I'll put a mark on that. That'll be your next kind of area of resistance if we clear indeed this area here, okay? So it's like just different levels up, right? So you can see that quite clearly. Very simple. And then we're going to try and hit the 50, okay? 50,000 would be our next area, roughly around, just around here. And that's a psychological level. And then we're going to be moving to 52. and then there's big resistance of 53. So, there's still a lot of work to do. Okay, don't be getting, don't become disillusioned, like you probably have been. There's always going to be a bounce, and there is a bounce right now. With the Fed meeting today and the market getting exactly what they wanted, we're expecting, it's 7% inflation in the US, that the market is now reacting to that, okay? And that's a bullish reaction. The crypto overreacted to the minutes from the Fed meeting. That's why we dropped. You had, hedge funds pulling out of like tech stocks and the whole shebang, all that sort of stuff. So a major overreaction. And, right now they're reacting to the 7% and it being exactly what they expected. Okay, that's the way markets work. Markets work by expecting something, and if they get what they're expecting, they react accordingly, generally positive. If they're not expecting, so for instance, if it's a negative, so let's just say inflation was, 10%, the market would have gone down, okay, even further. And if the market had been, like the inflation, had been 6%, the market would have gone insanely bullish and exploded back up to $58,000 or something. So we've kind of got what we expected, and this is the reaction. This is the reaction I was expecting myself from if we got the 7% on the Fed. So everybody was waiting, okay? So these corrections are brutal. They'll test you. They'll make you test your sanity. If you hold altcoins and you're paper-handed, you will sell. Okay, if you've not been here before and seen 40%, 50%, 60% corrections, you will sell. Okay, I've made that mistake previously before, and it's bloody hard to hold on to things when your altcoin goes down 80% and your Bitcoin goes down 40, 50%. It's damn hard to hold on. But, I have held, and, we are where we are right now. The altcoins are reacting again quite nicely with Bitcoin. Some of them have gone up quite a lot, and you have the dominance on the brink. So this is the Bitcoin market dominance. You have it on the brink of collapse. You know what that means? That means alt season, okay? So we've collapsed back down here. I would expect 39 point roughly 3. I'm just going to move that up here a small bit. I would expect it to kind of maybe just find a bit of resistance here first at 39.83, then 39.6, and then eventually move to 39.36. If we break that, we're looking at 38.7, 38.25, 37, and then I'm looking at a massive drop to 33. This here is parabolic alt season, okay? Once we see the dominance start breaking down here, guys, it is good news for your altcoins. They are going to explode. We also have the Dixie, the US dollar. So we have the US dollar here collapsing, okay, which is absolutely beautiful. Falling really, really far down now. And this is why Bitcoin is also moving up. So, investors are kind of losing a bit of confidence now in the US dollar, and they're now going back into crypto, okay? It was the reverse all the way up here, all over here. Bitcoin was collapsing and the dollar was exploding up. Now we have the reversal here, okay? So these are all good signs for the crypto market. This is what I was expecting. We did have a major capitulation candle in the Bitcoin price. When I say major, it's not what I was expecting. I do still think we might even roll over and come back down and retest the bottom again. I cannot be sure. That's why I'm keeping an eye on the 45.5 to 48,000 region. So this is just something I'm watching for, and I'm not saying to be panicky or anything like that. We could come up here, come in here somewhere around 45.5, 46,000, 47, 48. There's a lot of resistance there, and get rejected and start making our way back down. And what are you creating there? A kind of a lower high, and then maybe come back down and retest down here at 39.5 or $37,000. I am not saying this is going to happen. This is what I'm watching for, okay? Obviously, I would prefer and I would hope that we would do something like this. Come up here, come back down, retest 45, back up, break through, 47, come back, retest 47, break 48, come back, retest 48, break 49, come back and break 50, and we're away. okay, then I'd be more worried about the 52, 53. But there's still quite a bit of work to go yet. But by no means that means to panic. I've never panicked, not once. You need to be kind of, level-headed in this game, as I previously stated. And your alts, they hopefully, if the dominance drops down, as I showed you a second ago, I would be expecting a big move from the altcoins and a lot of the altcoins to start popping off big time. There's a couple of alts, I'm watching at the moment. Okay, so this is Rune, R-U-N-E. This thing's a beast. I personally have just invested in this today again and last week and the week before. So I've been accumulating Rune. This is me, okay, speaking. I'm not telling you what to do, but I do think this thing's a beast. Look at this chart. It's in an overall beautiful wedge here, an ascending wedge, which is bullish, okay? We may, this is a 3-day, by the way. We may even have a, within this, we have a falling wedge as well, which is trying to break out of right now. I have targets for this a good bit up here. I won't even say what they are. But I'm going to zoom in right now into the 4-hour and show you what I'm looking at. So we have an inverse head and shoulders, which has broken out, okay, on Rune. And the target, my technical target, which I am watching, is around 742, up around here. That is measured roughly from here to there and up to there. That 742 is my target, my personal target, okay? Now, technically, it's in a falling wedge here on the 4-hour chart. I'll go to maybe a 12-hour. It's a bit easier to see. I shall go to the daily. And you can see that quite clearly here. We're stuck in a downtrend. I'll pull that up there a small bit. Okay, roughly like that. And I'll just pull a fib over it. And I would be expecting it to come back to the 0.618 over the overall move, which is down here. And you can see already it's, respected quite a lot of the fibs. And where would be the 0.618? Would be up here. And this golden pocket, $12 up around that region. And where does that bring us? $12 to $13 to $14. That's a 120% move away. This is why I'm investing in Rune. I think it's about 120, 115, 116% away. Every move will always generally retrace back to the golden pocket. Rune has been previously $21. So this is what I'm looking at here. You're looking at up here, the golden pocket. That I'm going to mark them out slowly there. So I'm just giving you an idea of what I'm looking at here, okay, guys? So this is a falling wedge within the huge, massive ascending wedge. This is the daily, okay? I have basically pulled a fib from the top to the bottom. It's given me the 0.618 here at $12.76, the 0.702, $13.69, and the 0.786 at $14.74. That brings us up to the top of the wedge, okay? That's what I'd be expecting an area to get back up at least to the $12 region eventually. That is not going to happen overnight, okay? What am I looking at in the shorter term? So I'll just zoom out so you can see what I'm looking at here. I'll go to the 3-day and it's a bit easier to see. Okay, so we have a falling wedge within the overall structure. Okay, there's our falling wedge, overall structure. And we have another falling wedge within the big falling wedge. And what am I looking for here? So how do I figure out what's going on here? Okay, so let's take a look. We have a breakout of the falling wedge, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so I'm going to just draw that for you now. Okay, so this is the 8-hour chart. So there's our falling wedge within the falling wedge within the ascending triangle. I know that's a lot to take in. It sounds like a tongue twister. But this is how you chart. Okay, well, this is how I chart. Okay, so we have resistance here. We have support here. Okay, we had our inverse head and shoulders, breakout target, 742. Let's see if 742 out of our inverse head and shoulders has any confluence with the fibs. Okay, so I've gone to the 2-hour chart just to make it clear again. Okay, there's our resistance, there's our support, there's our inverse head and shoulders. We've broken out of the inverse head, or the wedge, the falling wedge, and I'm now, my target is, as I said, 742 from this inverse head and shoulders. But now let's take a look at the fib. Okay, so I'm going to pull a fib and see if this brings us back to the golden pocket, my target of 742. And what do we have? Well, will you look at that? 744 is the 0.702, which is confluent with my target of the inverse head and shoulders. Okay, so this is telling me that yes, remember, everything retraces back to the golden pocket. The target up here of the wedge, or sorry, of the actual inverse head and shoulders is 742. The golden pocket 0.702 is at $7.44. That's close stuff for me. And 742, that's showing confluence. So I'd be expecting this move to get to 742. All right, so that's Rune, guys. Rune looking very, very bullish. Overall, I would expect it then, the overall structure, to get back to $12 minimum eventually. That's daily though. But first, I'm looking at 742, and then I'll talk about it later at a later date. That's Rune. Okay, this is my beloved Poker Bridge, PBR. How cheap is this? Okay, still 67 cents. And the overall trend, it's still holding above the neckline of the cup and handle, which I'll show you really quickly because this chart is the KuCoin. I'll be coming back to this, but I'll go to the Uniswap chart for 1 second. Okay, so this is the Uniswap chart of Poker Bridge, still holding beautifully. Okay, absolutely beautifully on the neckline of the overall structure. So there's your cup, there's your handle, there's your neckline, held beautifully, came back tested, and it broke it slightly but bounced back in. I did say that this could come down to 50.49, 50.44 cent, and it did. It came down here to 51 cent. Okay, so you can see it's bounced back up here on the weekly, which is a very, very powerful chart, bouncing off the neckline. Okay, now from this chart, it's still holding, it's still bullish in a huge weekly falling wedge. It's retesting the neckline of cup and handle. On this chart, I would expect the 0.618 eventually to be hit of $3 to $3.77. So $3.11 to $3.77 eventually. Okay, this is not going to happen overnight. That's the 0.618. That's the golden pocket of this whole move. I'm going to go back to KuCoin for a second. And by the way, before I do that, you can see here, this is the weekly stochastic, and it's on the bloody floor. And again, I will say it again and again and again. This is where you make money. Okay, so what am I looking at here on the KuCoin chart with Poker Bridge? Okay, so firstly, it's in a massive falling wedge still structure. Okay, so we have a massive resistance holding us down. We've tried many times now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times to break through this baby, and we've been rejected each time. Does that worry me? No, not at all. We do have good support here. I'm going to put in some support lines. Okay, so there's your support lines underneath. We have 66 cent, we have 58 cent, and we have 49.50 cent mark, roughly around those regions. Okay, now this is the daily chart again. I'm going to zoom in a bit further so I can tell you what I'm kind of looking for and seeing here. So I'm just going to use a point of control. Okay, so this is the 2-hour chart, and what am I looking at here? I'm using my volume control here with the point of control at actually 67 cent, which doesn't surprise me on what's happening. Oh look, we're sitting right above the point of control at 67 cent, right on it. Okay, so basically what that means is once you are underneath it and you come to it and you break down, you have the EOC here, which you will always range between here. You would go essentially long down here. And then when you're coming to resistance, if it does not break, obviously, you're going to get knocked back down. But right now, we're holding it. The only thing we have here is this resistance coming down and holding us down. I do see us break out eventually. So don't be surprised if you see us come back down here and start coming in here. Back down here to this area here at around 58 cent. I'm not expecting it, but it can happen. I would like to see a movement here and pop out, okay? So right now, what do I expect from it? Okay, so if we do break this area here and we do bounce off this eventually, you'll be looking at 79 cent up to this region here around that area. Okay, it's between 76 and 79 cent. That's what I'd be expecting. All right. Again, this is a daily, okay, falling wedge. Falling wedges are bullish. What am I going to do now? I'm going to pull my fib and I'm going to go, okay, where could this come back to? It comes back to the 0.618, the golden pocket minimum over time. Where is that? The golden pocket, boom, $3.30, $3.68, and $4.06. Confluent, there's a small bit of confluence there between the Uniswap chart. It's up around above $3.11, I think, to $3.77, I believe, on the Uniswap. And here it's $3.30 to $4.06. Eventually, I would expect it to start moving out of here. Once we break here, these are the different areas we have to come up to. Okay, so you'd be moving all the way back up and out to the 0.236 is 157. We break that to 0.223, 0.277. Now this is huge because it's a massive, massive wedge. All right. So these are things I'm looking for in the short term. When I go to the 30-minute, okay, we're just kind of ranging again, as you saw here. I'm just going to go to stochastics, actually. I haven't really looked at those in a while. Okay, so these are stochastics. We'll go to the 4-hourly. We're at the top. We'll probably pull back a small bit, but we can stay up there quite a lot for a long time. Daily still has a long way to go up. We're in neutral territory. The 30-minute is down in the middle of no man's land. Neutral. 50 minutes coming down. The 5-minute should be the bottom, or coming down to the bottom. And yeah, 3 minutes up. So essentially, I'm not worried at all. The new roadmap has been released. Looks pretty cool. The NFT marketplace being launched. Coming into tier 1 exchange. The DEX being launched with Moonbeam, Glimmer, which was launched yesterday. So a lot going on with PokerBridge still, and still a working project. So bridges are going to be the narrative this year, I believe. That's my own opinion. And you also have, you know, it's trending again. It's trending on CoinGecko. It was number 1 for most of the day on CoinGecko. It's number 2 now, I think, or something like that. So it's number 1. Okay, here we go. Trending coins. PokerBridge is trending number 1. Moonbeam is number 3. Moonbeam was just released yesterday. Okay, so PokerBridge is trending number 1. Now, you know, you tell me there's no interest in it? There sure is. This is cheap, and this is the time to buy. You'd buy on the weekly at the bottom, and that's my opinion. Okay, that is not financial advice, but this is what I'm doing. Trending coins. PokerBridge is number 1 out of 16,000, over 16,000 cryptocurrencies. That's quite interesting. Okay, so somebody knows something, and you know, I'd like to be on that you know, on that bandwagon when it kicks off. So this is what I'm expecting. You might be all downtrodden and disheartened, and as far as I'm concerned, this is beautiful accumulation time. Trending number 1 coin is PokerBridge. Okay, so I'm going to leave you here, guys, with this. That's Bitcoin. Okay, the market update. You have the dominance in there. You have the US dollar in there. You have Rune, which is a beast as well. And you have PokerBridge, which is an absolute beast as well. And it's trending number 1. I'm going to leave you with this. And this is what I'm going to leave you with. The weekly stochastic on PokerBridge is on the floor, baby. And that is where I buy. Awesome. Subscribe and like. Thanks, guys. Awesome. Take care.